Intrinsic. How does motivation affect sporting performance? Natch stands for the need to achieve. This affects sporting performance as there is a drive to win something and to do well in the sport. Players will thrive off a challenge and to achieve their goal. An example of this is a team that's trying to get into the top four. They must need to win their next game to get into the top four. They will be motivated to win and to get into the top four. Natch need to avoid failure. This is where people tend to avoid challenges because they do not want to fail. These people often shy away from working hard. For an example, players that shy away from penalties are naff athletes. They do not want to let their team down or to let themselves down. How does diet affect sporting performance? Diet affects sporting performance. As the level of athletes consume many calories, they will try and gain weight. This will make them unfit and can lead to their performance dropping as they won't be able to run for as long or to run as fast as someone with a good diet. Protein affects sporting performance, as protein helps build and repair muscles, then help them grow. This is a benefit to athletes because as your muscle fibers tear, they need repairing. Drinking or eating protein helps repair muscles at a faster rate. Carbs affect sporting performance as carbs release energy. So for example, eating banana or fruit can help performance as their high sugar levels. Fats affect sporting performance as they're more fat the more weight they will gain, which means they will be unfit. How does previous training affect current sporting performance? Previous training affects current sporting performance, as for example, long distance running needs to have less weight as possible to compete at a high level, and there must be an anaerobic state to do long distance running. Compared to a sprinter where sprinters are anaerobic, they do not use oxygen while sprinting. Sprinters also need big muscles in their legs to get the power off the start and the power while they run. They also need to have strong abdominal muscles so they last the length of the sprint so they don't get injured. Extrinsic factors. What are the 5 stages of group development and how do they affect sporting performance? Forming. This affects sporting performance as athletes that work in a team. They will decide whether they fit into their team. This can have a negative performance as if they don't fit into their team, they won't perform as well. Storming. Storming has a negative effect on sporting performance as the players might fall out and cause arguments. This may lead to loss of morale in the group as they might not want to play as well together or might not want to play together. Norming. At this stage, players become more confident in the team's ability as they get to know each other and start to develop bonds with each other. Performing. At this stage, athletes are working towards a common goal. This affects performance as they want to achieve their goal and are determined to do well. Adjourning. This affects sporting performance as players are heading towards the end of their career. This might not make them not perform as well as they have other things on their mind such as retiring and what's happening after their career. Identify how temperature has a negative effect on sporting performance and how to overcome it. Temperature is an extrinsic factor that affects sporting performance because if their athletes compete in a hot country, they're not used to it and they'll get fatigued easily. Because of this heat, to overcome this, they must acclimatise to where they're training. For an example, going over to a hot country such as Spain if they're performing in a hot country. Or if they're performing in a cold country, going to somewhere like Russia, if they're training for the Winter Olympics. Temperature also affects hydration as the hotter the weather, the more dehydrated the athletes will become, so they need to drink twice as much water as normal. Part B. The 4 levels of sporting continuum are foundation, participation, performance and excellence. I'll be comparing the foundation and excellence level of sporting continuum.